Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Ben, and this is my Honda XR650L adventure build, which I've been, well, kind of disappointed in over the course of the last couple rides, especially when we've been comparing it to the 2025 DRZ4S. A lot of the complaints that I've had with this bike recently sort of contradict some of the really nice things that I had to say about it when I first picked it up a couple years ago. And obviously I've made some modifications to it, and if you guys want to check any of that stuff out, I do have a full build playlist on this bike that you can take a look at that I'll link down below. But anyway, for the longest time I just thought it was the fact that this bike is just fueled really well with the EFI. It's got 3 different ride modes, and on the A ride mode, which is sort of the snappiest, this bike is actually, not that I'm a professional rider or anything, but this bike is way too much for me to handle on single track. There's just so much throttle response, and it just packs such a punch, and like my dad said, it just feels like it just really takes off basically no matter what gear you're in, no matter what speed you're doing. Obviously, you can't be rolling around doing 5 miles an hour in 5th gear and expect it to take off, but with any gear that is reasonable for the speed, this thing just has so much pull. It seems almost like an electric motor, where the XR650L, back when I first got it, it seemed like it was the torquiest, most fun bike that I had ever ridden. In fact, most of the time when I would try to do a 0 to 60 or 50 or whatever for you guys, I'd have a hard time keeping the front wheel on the ground.
Ready, go. Oh my gosh! Oh, I love these machines.
But the more we rode these two side by side, the more I started to wonder if there was something else going on. And if you guys didn't catch the video, we took both of these bikes out on a long adventure to some off-road trails, did a bunch of off-road riding. And when my dad and I were swapping back and forth between the two, it just seemed like this bike, I don't know, was missing something.
This one's faster.
Yeah, the takeoff power that thing has, just when you very first twist the throttle, is just such a nice feature on that bike, and this just does not have that.
During our 0 to 50 test, I really had no problem with this thing pulling the wheel off the ground, and I thought perhaps I had just gotten better at counterbalancing and sort of trying to, ride the clutch out, so I didn't lift the wheel up, because obviously that doesn't help you take off. But it did, again, just seem kind of odd.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I am not in first gear.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's try that again. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Well, let's swap bikes quick. Go.
And while I do try to flip-flop back and forth between all of the bikes that I'm testing as often as possible, I don't ever really put a whole lot of miles on them, and even just in the space of a couple days, it's pretty easy to forget. But I remembered being able to wheelie this thing about as easy as I was able to with this thing without the clutch, and it's more of a sort of a utilitarian wheelie. I don't ride them down the street forever. I basically just want to be able to loft my front tire over things, and of course, well, it's just fun to do wheelies once in a while. But if you're somebody that rides a dual sport motorcycle off-road, you know that if you want to ride fairly aggressively, lofting that front wheel is fairly important. And when I took this bike out just the other day to talk about how 2025 was going to be the last year for these, I noticed that when I went to wheelie it, it really just seemed like it didn't have that same pickup.
What is going on here? I'm just not very good at them on this bike. I'm spoiled by the DRZ4S. I'm just shy. This bike is kind of a lot to handle compared to the DRZ4S. It just, I don't know, it really feels like a horse of a bike compared to that thing.
And again, like I mentioned, I thought that it was just that I was kind of spoiled by this bike, but the more I started to think about it, the more I realized that that really just couldn't be the case. So I was kind of trying to figure out what could be the culprit, what was going on that would cause this bike to be losing power. Most often when I go out and ride, or in the past when I would go out and ride with my dad or my buddy Jason or really anyone, a lot of times I know the trails better than anyone because I spent years of my life and hours of my life just riding around on my old Gen 2 KLR, figuring out all of the beautiful trails that we've got around here. And that means that I don't really end up sucking a whole lot of dirt while I'm riding around, neither with my lungs or with the bike's lungs. And of course, the bike has a filter designed to pull out any sort of harmful particulate in the air. And if you're somebody that spends a lot of time off-road, especially behind another bike, like this bike has now been doing, and really even this bike, I suppose, well, then the amount of time between filter cleanings or filter swaps, because I usually like to run 2 filters. I think I've got 2 filters for every bike in the garage except for the 4S. And I'm hoping Tusk, one of my sponsors, will come out with one of those fairly quickly if they haven't already. Actually, is this the same filter as the old bike? But it used to be that since I was out front, I barely ever had to clean my filters. But now I realized, well, it's probably time to at least check on that filter. So let's get prepped and ready and see what this thing's filter looks like.
Much better. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! That's fairly quick. It's still not quite as snappy as the 4S. Not yet anyway, maybe with some mods.
So certainly a very noticeable improvement, and definitely I think makes this bike a lot more fun like it used to be. And of course, it's still not quite as punchy as the 4S is here. And I'm kind of interested to see what some modifications to this bike will do now, especially since I really am enjoying riding this one. There are definitely a lot of great things about the XR that a lot of you have pointed out that the 4S just doesn't and will never have. But to be honest, I mean, I think both of them are really, really cool bikes, and both of them can be really fun. but just a little bit more sort of snap and pull on this I think would be kind of interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys are too. If you want to see those videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, don't be afraid to hit that like button, or or leave me a comment down below. Apparently I've been sitting here so long that my lights turned off. There we go. So until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out there and enjoy this beautiful world God created for us to explore and enjoy any chance you get. And if you can't do that right now, well, maybe go see if you can up your performance on your bike by doing a little bit of basic maintenance. A clean filter definitely makes a pretty big difference.